Uh, I would say that the training of an IPS officer is probably the most exciting thing that a youngster can undergo at any point in their lives. I'm very, very fortunate to have cleared the civil service exam in 2013 in my first attempt. And I was All India rank 188 and I was allotted to the IPS. I was very, very excited about being allotted to IPS, and hence I did not go in for a second attempt at the exam, and I joined immediately. And I would say that 4 years into the service, life has been great, and I'm very, very happy with my decision of having taken up the IPS and having stuck to it. Um, the training of an IPS officer happens primarily in the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Police Academy in Hyderabad. This commences after the 3-month foundation course in the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration. Though, of course, there is an option of skipping the foundation course if you are going in for another attempt at the exam and straight away joining for the Hyderabad portion of the training. The training is of a duration of 11 months, and you can roughly say 1 year if you include the Army attachment, the Bharat Darshan, and the CRPF attachment. 11 months will be spent at the academy, and around 1 month would be spent in covering up your external attachments. The training is designed in a very, very scientific and very holistic manner to ensure that your personality undergoes a complete change. It's a very, very exciting and very, very dynamic period of your life where you actually feel that your entire personality is undergoing a complete change. In fact, the creed of NPA is that there is already an officer within you. It is the responsibility of the academy and the training to bring out the best officer-like qualities in you and to chisel it so that you become the best officer that you can possibly be. So that is what the academy strives for, and that is what the training is aimed at. The academy has both indoor as well as outdoor infrastructure and facilities, and the training is also divided into indoor and outdoor components. Your typical day in the academy would start at 4:45 or 5 o'clock in the morning, depending on how much time it takes you in the morning to get ready. Fallen is at 5:30 in the morning, and we begin with PT, and there is usually another outdoor session in the morning. So the total outdoor session in the morning would last for around 2 hours, from 5:30 to 7:30 in the morning. After your morning session is over, you go for breakfast, after which you get ready for your indoor session, which would last for around 4 to 5 hours till from 9 o'clock in the morning till 1:30 in the afternoon. After which you would come and have your lunch and then get ready for your indoor session, which would commence by 3 or 3:30, depending on which month of the year it is. So as you can see, it's a fairly tight schedule. At 3:30, we again start with the afternoon outdoor session, which would vary from day to day. Your schedule would be depending on which squad you belong to, so your timetable would change every day. There would be activities like weapon training, there would be battle, obstacle and assault course, there would be unarmed combat, there would be drill, there would be riot drill. So a host of activities which would take up your afternoon session, followed by a games period where there would be a variety of games that you would have to play on different days of the week. So these games would vary from volleyball, handball, basketball, hockey, to throw ball, and a variety of such sports. And you would actually have tournaments and matches of all these sports at different points in the year, and everyone gets an opportunity to take part and be a part of teams for different sports. So this would be the afternoon session, which would end by 6 10 in the afternoon, in the evening, after which you would break off and you would march back to the IPS mess, post which you would have your bath and then get ready for dinner. Dinner would be served at 8 o'clock. So at 8 o'clock you have your dinner, and after dinner you are free. So this would what a typical day at the IPS Academy looks like, and of course there would be minor variations depending on some extra activities that would be part of your schedule. Like we have a lot of cultural evenings. We have, apart from that, we have formal dinners. We have pre-dinner talks. We have a lot of such activities that are built into the schedule, which would add some variety and would bring in some sort of diversity into your training schedule. So this is what the schedule is like. As far as the experience of undergoing the training is concerned, it's of course a training that requires a great deal of endurance, stamina, mental strength, discipline, and of course the ability to just hang in there. That is actually, I think, the most important thing, because like I said, the training lasts almost 1 year, and you're doing almost the same thing day in and out, and being able to endure that and to be able to enjoy it requires a mental toughness of a different level. So the training actually aims to inculcate that in you and to help you to develop that sort of a resilience and toughness. And personally, having joined the IPS training straight out of college, I was a college when I appeared for the civils and cleared it. I would say that definitely the training is something that makes your personality undergo a complete change. So the different activities that you undergo in the academy would include weapon training. Like I said, you learn how to fire and handle all sorts of weapons, starting from small arms to rifles. So that is very, very exciting. You get ample opportunity to hone your firing skills, because you fire thousands of rounds by the end of your training. You also get to pick up many new skills, like horse riding, which is something that people would normally not be exposed to. So horse riding is one skill you pick up. Personally, for me, I learned how to swim, and not just swimming, but also to get over my fear of water, because there is a test which actually requires you to jump from a diving board into the deep end of the pool, from an 8-meter or 10-meter diving board. So that is something that requires you to get over a lot of fear of height and water, and generally push yourself into doing something that you would normally not do. So the training gives you ample opportunities to really push your limits and to overcome a lot of these fears that you may be having. So the end result of all this is that you're a completely changed person by the end of your training. You really feel that all the resources that were spent on training you and all the infrastructure in the academy has really been put to good use, because you can feel that visible change, or that a clear change in your personality is very, very evident by the end of the 1 year you spend in the academy. The good thing about academy life is that there is always group dynamics at work, which means that you're never alone in anything that you do. You always have your squad with you, you have your buddy with you, you have your ustads who are your outdoor trainers, you have your indoor faculty, you have your friends around you to motivate you, to push you, to constantly tell you that you are capable of doing it and you are capable of successfully completing the training. So this is something that is very encouraging, especially when seen from the point of view of the duration of the training, which is very, very long. If I had to list the most tough aspect of IPS training, I would say it is the fact that you have to adhere to a very, very high level of discipline, which most people would not be used to. Waking up so early in the morning, doing this kind of a regimental, disciplined schedule every single day, day in and out, with only a Sunday off, is something that requires a great deal of regimentation and discipline. So this, I would say, is the toughest aspect of the IPS training. Apart from that, of course, you don't get very many opportunities to go on leave or see your family. So you're largely centered around the academy, and that can also be slightly tough on people who are very, very used to having their families around, or for whom family support is a very big thing. So this is what I would list as being the tough aspect of IPS training. But I would say that any day the advantages far outweigh any sort of suffering that you may undergo while you're in the academy, because like I said, your personality undergoes a complete change, and the government is spending a huge amount of money in training you, and the infrastructure of the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Police Academy is just world class. The kind of facilities that you get in that academy are not available in any other academy in India. That is something that I can confidently say. And really getting the opportunity to enjoy all of that is really a privilege which you get only as an IPS probationer, and I think that makes the whole experience very, very worthwhile. You are very well looked after in the academy, so that is something that you can look forward to if you are selected into the IPS. There is a very plush IPS mess where all the probationers are housed. The food is excellent. All your day-to-day needs are taken care of. You have your laundry is taken care of, your room is cleaned, so you don't have to really worry about small things like that. You have to just give your best into the training, and just pour all your effort into doing your best with that. So that is, I think, the good thing about the training. And of course, you become a much more tougher individual. That is something that I personally experienced by the end of it. I felt that the childishness in my personality had kind of gone away, and it was replaced by more officer-like traits. And this was something that happened at a very subconscious level. I did not have to make any overt or a very deliberate attempt from my side to change my personality. It just happened during the course of the training, and that is something that I felt was really remarkable. And I'm sure no other experience would have given me this kind of a 360-degree makeover which the IPS training did. So that is something that I'm very, very grateful for. And you have excellent mentors in the academy. All your faculty are very experienced and dedicated persons who have really proven themselves in the field of training. So as far as trainers are concerned, you really have the best who will be very dedicated. This personal attention being given, even though almost 150 probationers are trained in one go. The element of personal attention is always there, so you never feel that no one is paying attention to you, because you divided into squads. So there are around 8 squads, and you have roughly 20 to 25 members in each squad. So you will become very close friends with all your squad mates, and you'll also ensure that you bond at an individual level with your squad mates. So I think that is another huge advantage of IPS training, because you develop really good close friends for life. People whom you know will be there for you and be friends with you and share that bond with you for the rest of your life, if not just for the training period of the academy. So these are things that one really cherishes about academy. Once you pass out of academy, after the passing out parade, you proceed on a couple of days of leave, after which you come back and proceed for your Bharat Darshan. The Bharat Darshan for IPS officers is of a duration of 2 weeks, and you visit one state in each zone. After this 2-week Bharat Darshan is over, you proceed for your army attachment and your CRPF attachment. So I did my army attachment in Sri Ganganagar in Rajasthan, and I went to Jammu and Kashmir for my CRPF attachment. That was, of course, very, very exciting, because you were actually there in the field, and you got to see what are the tough conditions in which the paramilitary and the army operate. So that gives you a much more holistic perspective, and it also helps you to understand how your interaction with the other forces, the paramilitary and the other uniform force, which is the army, is going to be like once you actually start working in the field. So these are very, very valuable experiences and one-kind exposure that you get as a trainee. and definitely goes a long way in helping you to understand how forces apart from the police work. After this, you also get exposed to the working of the parliament. There's a parliamentary attachment that happens. The exact timing or the exact time when this parliamentary attachment happens could vary from batch to batch. I cannot speak conclusively or authoritatively on when exactly it happens, but definitely it is also a part of your training. Just like how a visit calling on to the President of India is also a part of the training. So one would be taken to the Rashtrapati Bhavan to formally call on the Honorable President of the country. And that is also an invaluable experience because one doesn't usually get this kind of an opportunity every day. So that is very, very interesting, and one feels very proud. It's a real moment of pride when you find yourself in the Darbar Hall and having the President of India address you. So that is also an experience which an IPS officer gets, and again something that makes the training very, very holistic and interesting. After the IPS the academy training and the attachments are over, you proceed to your field, that is the cadre that you have been allotted to, for a 6-month practical training, during which time 3 months will be spent in understanding how the district police office works and working with the district SP and understanding what the police setup of your state is like. And 3 months will be spent as working as SHO of a rural police station, which again is a one-time and unique experience because you cannot replicate or experience that kind of, that kind of an experience again in your life. So that is again a very significant period of your training, because police station SHO-ship is one period where you actually understand how the basic unit of policing work, which is a police station. And working as SHO really helps you to understand the pulls and pressures of being the ground level functionary at the field. And this is something that stays with you for the rest of your career, and it's a very, very valuable professional experience. After your 6 months of field training is over, you once again go back to the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Police Academy for your phase 2 training, which lasts for about 1.5 months. This is basically an experience sharing exercise where all your batchmates would get together in the academy once again and share their experience of 6 months of field training. And it also helps you to dissect what your experience was like and to learn from the good and the bad things that your batchmates have experienced. And it's a very, very interesting period because you get to hear how things work in other states and what were the scenarios that your batchmates underwent, and to possibly gear up to face those kind of situations once you return as a full-fledged ASP to the field. Phase 2 also includes a foreign attachment which lasts for 2 months. 2 weeks. So you will be taken abroad for around 1 week, after which you would come back and spend another week in sharing your experience of what the foreign training was like. So that again is very, very valuable exposure. In my batch, we went to Israel. So again, a one-time opportunity and a very, very enriching and valuable experience, because as all of you would be aware, Israel is of course known for its very, very cutting-edge defense and policing strategies. So we got to learn a lot by observing and by listening to officers from the Israeli police and intelligence. So with that, I feel that the IPS training was actually complete, and we were fully equipped and geared up to come back and start working as ASPs in our respective cadres. So that's all that I want to share with you today. And thank you for your patience, and catch all of you sometime later. Bye.